Welcome to the Chromperfect User Training YouTube channel. In this video, we're continuing our detailed walkthrough of the Chromperfect manual, focusing on the Method File Editor, specifically the different tab sections within the editor and what each one does. This is a user training video, not a high-level overview. We'll be working directly from the manual and going through each tab and setting exactly as it's implemented in the software. Most of this video uses static screen captures from the Chromperfect interface, so you can follow along clearly. Where additional explanation or context is helpful, we'll also show chromatogram screens and other areas of Chromperfect to illustrate how these settings behave in practice. Method files, with the extension MET, contain the instructions Chromperfect uses to acquire data, process raw files, generate reports and plots, and perform other processing-related tasks. A method file can be used for data acquisition in two ways. It can be included in a sequence file, which is then downloaded to an instrument, or it can be downloaded directly to an instrument on its own. When a method is used for acquisition, the resulting raw files record the name of the method file and normally use that same method automatically during processing. To create a new method file, choose File, then New, and press the Method File button. To open an existing method file, choose File, then Open, and press the Method File button. The Method File Editor form will then appear. The Method File Editor contains multiple tab sections. Each tab controls a specific part of acquisition, processing, reporting, or plotting behavior. We will go through each one in order. The Acquisition tab. The Acquisition tab contains all settings related to data acquisition. These settings apply only when the method is downloaded to an instrument as the governing, or Channel A, method. The acquisition parameters define the nature of the raw files that will be created. The runtime field specifies the suggested runtime for raw files acquired under this method. This value can be changed during acquisition, but the raw file will record both the suggested runtime and the actual runtime. The data samples per second field controls the sampling rate used during acquisition. The Acquire from Channel setting determines which channels will be acquired. This option is only relevant when the method is downloaded to a multi-channel instrument. The real-time plot parameters affect how the chromatogram appears during acquisition, but they do not affect the plot in the final report. If auto-zero is enabled, the real-time plot will be auto-zeroed using the specified span. If auto-zero is not enabled, the plot uses manually defined high-scale and low-scale values. The units for these values are defined in the Units tab. The ICF run mode applies only to ICF instruments. The reference chromatogram file name allows an optional raw file to be selected as a reference. This reference chromatogram may be displayed alongside the real-time chromatogram, included in formatted reports, and may open automatically when another raw or bound file is opened in the analysis program. Pressing the Open button next to the file prompt opens the selected raw file in a separate window. Additional settings on this tab apply only when the method is downloaded to instruments connected to specific acquisition hardware. The Setpoint File section allows an optional setpoint file to be specified for supported gas chromatographs. Pressing the Open button opens the selected setpoint file in a separate editor. Some ICF instruments also support a secondary pretreatment setpoint file with the extension MIP, commonly used with headspace analyzers. The Events tab. The Events tab defines all timed events in the method. These events fall into three categories: relay events, plot events, and integration events. Relay events control the digital outputs on analog to digital interfaces, such as the Chromperfect Tiger devices, and apply only when that hardware is present. Plot events control plot appearance and are obsolete, but remain available for backward compatibility. Integration events are the most common and control peak detection and integration behavior. The list on the right displays all available event types. The spreadsheet on the left shows the events currently programmed in the method. Each event has a time, specified in minutes from the start of the run, and an event type. To add a new event, press Insert to create a new row, then enter the event time and code. Alternatively, double-click an event in the list to insert it into the selected row. Events can be entered in any order. They are automatically sorted by time when the method file is saved. The Processing tab. The Processing tab controls what happens when raw or bound files are processed automatically. Chromatogram processing options define whether and how the chromatogram is modified before integration. If multiple processing options are selected, they are applied in a fixed order. Chromatograms may be smoothed to reduce noise, have a baseline chromatogram subtracted, be compensated for square law detectors, or be aligned. The smoothing type setting selects the smoothing algorithm. If smoothing is enabled, the smoothing time defines the width of the smoothing window. If Subtract Baseline Chromatogram is enabled, a baseline raw file must be specified. This file is subtracted during processing. The Open button allows that baseline file to be viewed. If the method contains anchors, the Clear Anchors button becomes active. Anchors are created in the raw file editor and may be cleared here. The initial peak detection threshold defines how much noise the algorithm should tolerate. Values typically range from -6 to +28. If the value is too high, real peaks may be missed. If it is too low, noise may be falsely detected as peaks. The initial peak width defines the expected full width at half height for an early peak. For gas chromatography, typical values range from 0.01 to 0.10 minutes. For liquid chromatography, values range from 0.10 to 2.00 minutes. Chromperfect compares the sampling rate to the peak width and calculates how many data points span each peak. At least 10 points are recommended. If fewer than 10 points are available, the value is displayed in red and a minimum usable peak width is enforced. An optional calibration file may be specified. If provided, it is used to identify components and calculate quantities. The File Options section controls which output files are produced during processing. ASCII area files use the ASC extension. Excel area files use XLSX. Bound data files use BND. PNG plot files contain chromatogram images. XML files contain integration and bound data. AIA files use the CDF extension. PNG magnification increases output resolution. A magnification of 3 or 4 is typically suitable for printing. If take square root is enabled, the chromatogram is compressed point by point to linearize square law detector signals. If perform alignment is enabled, alignment is performed using settings from the Alignment tab. The Report tab. The Report tab controls printed reports and plots generated during processing. The Number of Copies setting controls how many copies are printed. Chromatogram, SEC MWD, and SEC calibration plots may be included individually or together. When both plots and a standard report are selected, the Page Break After Plot option controls page layout. The Report Text option enables the standard report. The Detailed File Information option controls how much raw file header information appears. Formatted report files may be specified using the Format File list. These files may also generate ASCII, Z, or PDF output. When multiple formatted reports generate Z or PDF output, they are concatenated into a single document. The Plot tab. The Plot tab controls plot size, position, and scaling. Plot height is specified in inches. Multiple plot panels divide the timescale across stacked plots. Plots may fill the full page width or use a specified width and position. Time scaling may be automatic or manually defined using start and stop times. Voltage scaling may be automatic, auto zero, or manually defined. Auto-scaling options allow large peaks to be ignored or limited to prevent excessive plot compression. The Plot Options tab. This tab controls how chromatogram plots are drawn. Black and white printing forces all plot colors to black for printer compatibility. Time axes may be drawn horizontally or vertically. Drawing options include search windows, data point dots, peak tick marks, baselines, grids, and filled peaks. Label options control peak numbers, retention times, modified peak markers, timed events, axis labels and units, sample name, file name, annotations, and component names. Labels may overlap or be forced apart, depending on readability needs. Segmented plot options divide the chromatogram into time segments with adjustable spacing and labeling. The User Programs tab. User programs allow external programs to run during download, processing, or alarm events. Download time programs run when the method is downloaded to an instrument. Process time programs run during automatic processing. Alarm time programs are defined in format files. Each program type receives specific command line arguments. Batch files may be used but have restrictions, particularly regarding spaces in file names and paths. The Units tab. The Units tab defines time and response units used for plots. Time units may be minutes, seconds, or user-defined. Response units may be microvolts, millivolts, volts, or user-defined. User-defined units require a unit name, conversion factor, and optional zero offset. The SEC tab. The SEC tab controls size exclusion chromatography settings. If SEC updates are enabled, calibration updates apply to the SEC calibration file. SEC baseline, processing range, column range, and calibration range may be displayed on plots. The SEC plot tabs. SEC MWD and SEC calibration plot tabs control scaling, curve selection, legends, and molecular weight labeling. Multiple differential and cumulative curves may be displayed. At least one curve must always remain enabled. The Miscellaneous tab. The Miscellaneous tab contains the creator and description fields. These are documentation fields only and appear on printed output. The Alignment tab. This tab supports the Infometrics Lineup Chromatogram Alignment utility. A valid lineup license is required. The InStep tab. This tab supports the Infometrics InStep Multivariate Predictor. If enabled, InStep reports are generated during processing. Printing a method file. Method files may be printed from the File menu. Each tab section can be included or excluded from the printout. The selected sections are printed together as a single document. That brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon to be notified when we upload new Chromperfect training videos. For more information about Chromperfect or to reach out to our team, please visit our website at chromeperfect.com.